Good afternoon, Standard 8 students. Now we are aware of Prospero. He was very happy that both Ferdinand and Miranda had fallen in love. And then Ferdinand, in another fine long speech for young princess, speak in courtly phrases, told the innocent Miranda he was heir to the crown of Naples. I mean, he was going to be the king of Naples and that she should be his queen. So officially he has already declared that sooner or later he will be the king and she will be his queen. Ah, sir, said she, I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of. I will answer you in plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. Prospero prevented Ferdinand's thanks by appearing visible before them. Now, after he had heard the conversation, and now both have agreed to marry each other, then Prospero showed his face. Fear nothing, my child, said he. I have overheard and approve of all you have said. And Ferdinand, if I have too severely used you, I will make you rich amends by giving you my daughter. What he meant was he felt a little bad that the boy who loves his daughter and wants to make her his queen, he had made him to do all kinds of hard work just to test him out. And now he is willing to hand over his daughter to Ferdinand. All your vexations were that my trials of your love. So whatever difficulties or hard tasks I had put before you, it was just to test your love. And you have nobly stood the test, means you have passed the test. Then as my gift, which your true love has worthily purchased, take my daughter, and do not smile that I boast, she is above all praise. He then, telling them that he had business which required his presence, desired they would sit down and talk together till he returned. And his command, Miranda seemed not at all disposed to disobey. Now she felt guilty that in spite of certain instructions or warning was given to Miranda, she had disobeyed her father. But now ever since her father has agreed with their relationship, so now she has got no reasons to go against him or disobey him. Now Prospero said that he had some other business for which his presence was very important. So he allowed them to sit and talk together, share their ideas and thoughts, while he would be busy with his other commitment. When Prospero left them, he called his spirit Ariel, who quickly appeared before him, eager to relate what he had done with Prospero's brother and the king of Naples. Ariel said he had left them almost out of their senses, with fear at the strange things he had caused them to see and hear. Now he met Ariel, and Ariel was giving a report. How did he treat Prospero's brother and the king of Naples? Just first I made him to go out of their senses, and strange things appeared before them, which made them very frightened. When fatigued with wandering about and famished for want of food, he had suddenly set before them a delicious banquet. Now he is explaining how he was dealing with Antonio, the brother of Prospero and the king of Naples. So he had put a lot of fear into them by making them to observe some terrible sights. And then he made them to move around. So while they were wandering around, they were feeling very tired and they were feeling very hungry. They were desperately in need of food. So what did he do was, he set a banquet, like a feast with delicious food in front of them. Now you could imagine how happy they would have been when they saw good food in front of them. And then while they were about to attack or to eat that food, suddenly he changed into a harpy, a ferocious monster with wings. And that made them to get, hysterical or frightened. And the food also disappeared. He didn't allow them to eat that food. Now that was the trick which Ariel was playing with these two. And the food feast vanished away. Then, to their utter amazement, now what happened to their utter amazement means they were shocked. Why were they shocked? They were shocked because the same harpy, this voracious monster with wings, began to talk to them. He was speaking to them, and they were in a daze. How can this monster speak to us? Okay. Reminding them of that cruelty. Now, this monster was attacking them or chastising them by talking about how cruel, how rude they were towards Prospero and his infant daughter. Means he made them feel guilty about their wrongdoings. They should not have done that. So that is why he says, for driving Prospero from his dukedom and leaving him and his infant daughter to perish in the sea. What enough you have driven away from the dukedom, and then you allow them to be in the sea for them to die. That was totally wrong. Saying that for this cause these terrors were suffered to afflict them. It says, for that action of yours, today you are being afflicted. You are being made to face a lot of problems. Means you are being punished for that crime of yours. The king of Naples and Antonio, the false brother, repented the injustice they had done to Prospero. And Ariel told his master he was certain their penitence was sincere and that he, though a spirit, could not but pity them. Now, when they regretted, they realized that they had done something totally wrong and they were feeling very guilty about this action of theirs. And the way they reacted, the way they had confessed to Ariel. Now, Ariel being a spirit, he began to feel sorry for them. He knew that it was a true confession. They really are feeling very embarrassed or sorry for what they have done. Then Prospero said, okay, fine. If you are a spirit and if you feel that they deserve pityness, then I think I'm a human. So I can also forgive them and feel sorry for them and pardon them for whatever they had done to Prospero and his infant daughter. Ariel soon returned with the king Antonio and told Gonzalo in their trains, who had followed him, wondering at the wild music he played in the air to draw them on to his master's presence. This Gonzalo was the same who had so kindly provided Prospero formerly with books and provisions when his wicked brother left him, as he thought to perish in an open boat in the sea. Now, when Prospero forgave Antonio, his brother, and the king of Naples, he ordered or commanded Ariel to go and bring them to me. So he followed his master's command and he brings them. Now, how did he bring them? He first made the air be filled with music. Because remember, they cannot see Ariel. And this music was traveling with the breeze. And they were following the sound. And they had come to the place where they had met Prospero. And along with the king of Naples and Antonio, even that Lord Gonzalo, who had helped Prospero at the beginning, he was also there. Now, when they had come, so the first thing Prospero did was, he went to thank this Lord Gonzalo for helping him. And with the help of his, magic books and the provisions and all that, he was able to survive and come to this island. Only then Antonio and the king of Naples recognized Prospero. Now, after 12 years, Prospero had grown a long hair, long beard, maybe turned thin and frail. So they were not able to recognize him. So, but when they found that Prospero was greeting Gonzalo and thanking him, only then they recognized that the person who's speaking to Gonzalo is Prospero. And then they felt ashamed of their actions and they asked for forgiveness. Okay, I shall continue with the video recording and send it to you. All right. Please learn the question and answers, and you have a class test on the topic The Tempest on 2nd of July. Thank you.